When one thinks of Clint Eastwood, the words legendary actor or iconic filmmaker might come to mind.
Being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head.
But how many associate him with the hum of a vintage engine or the shine of a meticulously preserved car bonnet? At the age of 92, Clint isn't just a cinematic titan. He's also an ardent car enthusiast with a collection that's as classic and timeless as his filmography. Step into the world of Eastwood, where Hollywood glitz meets the allure of the open road, showcasing the seamless blend of ageless passion and four-wheeled beauties. From dreams to drive. The backstory. Growing up in a wealthy pocket of California, Clint Eastwood was the embodiment of youthful exuberance. He was the kind of boy who'd rather tap his feet to a smooth jazz tune than bury his nose in textbooks. But even amidst the exciting backdrop of jazz clubs and the soothing Californian breeze, there was something that tugged at young Eastwood's heartstrings: a dream car. The 1932 Ford Roadster, with its sleek lines and promise of adventure, was the object of many a young boy's dreams. But for Clint, it wasn't just about the aesthetic appeal or the prestige attached to the Roadster. It was the embodiment of freedom, of a life less ordinary. Imagine a young Clint spending his days working short-term gigs, from lifeguarding to golf caddying, all the while harboring this burning aspiration to own that dream car. Every engine's roar he heard, every glossy magazine page he turned, reminded him of that unfulfilled desire. The Ford Roadster wasn't merely a vehicle. It was a symbol of ambition, drive, and dreams waiting to be realized. The Roadster's allure was undeniable. It was an automobile masterpiece of its time. Designed during the transformative era of the early 1930s, this car was a beacon of innovation. It combined the ruggedness required of vehicles in that era with an elegance that made it stand out. Just picturing a 1932 Ford Roadster cruising down the streets of California, its shiny exterior reflecting the golden sun, is enough to evoke a sense of nostalgia. Clint's longing for this car was more than just a teenage whim. It was a manifestation of his deeper yearnings for success, autonomy, and the ability to chart his own path. Now, many would think that for someone growing up in an affluent area, acquiring such a vehicle might not be a distant dream. But life wasn't always glitz and glamour for Eastwood. Despite his surroundings, young Clint's focus was dispersed. Jazz clubs, friendships, and fleeting jobs took precedence over academia, making the dream of the Roadster seem even more distant. It wasn't about just the money. It was about the circumstances, priorities, and choices of a young man trying to find his footing in the world. However, as we all know, life has its way of coming full circle. With time, as Clint climbed the ladder of success, his financial stature and priorities evolved. The boy from California, who once spent his nights soaking in jazz melodies, became an internationally recognized name in the film industry. And as the accolades and wealth started pouring in, so did the opportunity to revisit old dreams. Acquiring the Ford Roadster later in his life wasn't just a purchase, it was a homecoming. It was the universe's way of telling Clint that dreams delayed aren't dreams denied. Owning the Roadster was a testament to Clint's journey, from a young boy with starry-eyed aspirations in California to a man who had the world at his feet. The car became a symbol of his journey, his struggles, his victories, and above all, his unyielding spirit. And while most of us might see the 1932 Ford Roadster as just another classic car, for Clint Eastwood, it was a cherished dream realized. It was a bridge between his past and his present, a silent witness to the journey of a man who went from following the notes of jazz tunes to orchestrating symphonies of his own in cinema. In life, we often chase after dreams, some of which seem perennially out of reach. But Clint's story with the Roadster serves as a gentle reminder. It tells us that sometimes dreams have their own timeline, and when they do come true, they're worth every second of the wait. Reeling cars from real life. Film and cars share a profound connection, often reflecting the era, culture, and essence of the narrative they're embedded in. For Clint Eastwood, a seasoned veteran of cinema, the line between real life and real life was beautifully blurred, especially when it came to his love for automobiles. Let's take a journey back to 1982. The silver screen lit up with Eastwood's portrayal in Honky Tonk Man, a tale set in the Great Depression era. Clint played a Western and country singer grappling with the shadows of tuberculosis,
but when I sing about you,
setting off on one last cross-country tour with his nephew. While the story was emotionally charged for car enthusiasts, another element stole the show: the gorgeous 1937 Lincoln Model K convertible. This car, with its majestic V12 6.8-liter engine, wasn't just another prop. It was a character in its own right. Having made its debut in 1931, the Lincoln K Series convertible was, and still is, an emblem of automotive excellence from that period. Touted as the manufacturer's crowning achievement, the vehicle exuded opulence, engineering finesse, and timeless appeal. The enchanting beauty of the Lincoln was evident as it graced the screen, its polished exterior glistening, transporting the audience back to a time of elegance amidst adversity. As Eastwood's character navigated the challenges of his journey in the film, the Lincoln stood by him, its resilient engine and luxurious design contrasting with the rugged landscapes and harsh realities of the Depression era. By the movie's end, Clint's character might have met a tragic fate, but the impression left by the Lincoln was indelible. For most actors, once the director yells "cut" for the final time, props like cars become memories, part of the fabric of a story told. But for Clint, the story was different. So enamored was he by the 1937 Lincoln Model K convertible that its allure transcended the boundaries of the film set. As the final scenes of Honky Tonk Man wrapped up, Eastwood knew that his tryst with the Lincoln couldn't end there. With the roar of its engine still echoing in his ears and the charm of its design imprinted on his mind, Clint decided to bring a piece of real life into his real world. He bought the very same model for his personal collection. The acquisition wasn't just about owning another luxury car, it was about preserving a piece of cinematic history, a token from a story he held close. In Clint's garage, the Lincoln wasn't just a car, it was a co-star, a tangible relic of a tale well told. The blend of Eastwood's personal and cinematic worlds doesn't end there. His real-life garage and his on-screen ventures often mirrored each other, showcasing his genuine passion for cars. It's not just about the luxury or the brand, it's about the stories these vehicles tell, the eras they represent, and the memories they evoke. It's fascinating how a single vehicle can hold so much significance. In Honky Tonk Man, the Lincoln was more than a mode of transport. It was a symbol of hope, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of dreams, even in the face of adversity. In Clint's life, the car symbolized his love for cinema, his attention to detail, and his profound respect for storytelling, whether through film or the silent tales whispered by vintage cars. The 1937 Lincoln K Series convertible, now a prized possession in Eastwood's collection, stands as a testament to the magic of movies and the timeless allure of classic cars. It reminds us of the seamless bond between the stories we watch on screen and the narratives we create in reality. As the sun sets and the garage lights dim, one can almost hear the soft strains of country music, the distant hum of the Lincoln, and Clint, in his inimitable style, reminiscing about a journey from reel to reel, where dreams, much like classic cars, never truly fade away. The Italian love affairs, Ferraris, and a tale of generosity. The 1960s saw Clint Eastwood star on a meteoric rise, with his roles in Sergio Leone's spaghetti western films bringing him global fame.
I don't think it's nice you laughing.
As A Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More garnered acclaim, the final chapter, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, beckoned. But for Eastwood, the decision to join wasn't immediate. With apprehensions in his mind, he weighed his options. The Italian production company, aware of Clint's rising stature, initially wooed him with promises of a higher salary. When that didn't cinch the deal, they dangled a share of the profits. Still, Eastwood held back, waiting, contemplating. Then came the offer, an irresistible bait that even a man of Clint's resolve couldn't refuse, a brand new Ferrari 275 GTB. The Ferrari 275 GTB wasn't just another sports car, it was a masterpiece. With its Pininfarina-designed body, the car boasted of aesthetics that could only be described as art in motion. Its 300 HP engine wasn't just about raw power, it was about precision, performance, and perfection. But for Clint, this car held a value beyond its mechanical marvels and sleek design. It was a token of appreciation, a symbol of his worth in the cinematic world. Stories swirled about the origin of this gift. Some say it was a tantalizing offer from the production company, while others whispered that it was a generous gift from producer Dino De Laurentiis. While the truth remains wrapped in the enigmatic allure of Hollywood tales, one fact stands clear. Eastwood's garage was graced with an Italian gem, and it was love at first rev. But Clint's tryst with Ferrari didn't end with the 275 GTB. As the 70s dawned and Clint's love for Italian engineering grew, another beauty caught his eye, the 365 GT4 Berlinetta Boxer. Ferrari's first mid-mounted 12-cylinder car was a testament to innovation, pushing boundaries in design and performance. For Eastwood, who had by now developed a taste for the fine craftsmanship of Ferrari, the Berlinetta Boxer was an irresistible addition. Its prowess on the road matched its stunning looks, making it a favorite among car connoisseurs. Clint wasn't just content owning this beauty, he wanted to personalize it, to imprint a bit of his essence on it. So, in a move that raised many eyebrows, he transformed it, turning its roof into a convertible, giving the Boxer a unique Eastwood touch. However, as time rolled on and Clint's collection burgeoned, he decided to part ways with the Berlinetta, making room for new stories and new machines. Clint Eastwood's relationship with his Ferraris is emblematic of his life, full of passion, determination, and a touch of unpredictability. While many see Ferraris as symbols of luxury and status, for Clint, they were stories, chapters in his illustrious life where cinema, passion, and engineering converged. The Ferraris weren't just cars in Clint's garage. They were silent witnesses to his journey, from the sets of spaghetti westerns to the heart of Hollywood, from moments of contemplation to decisions that shaped his cinematic legacy. They stood as symbols of appreciation, tokens of love from a world that revered him, and more importantly, as testaments to his taste, his penchant for the finer things in life, and his ability to merge the worlds of film and automotive passion. In the end, the tale of Clint Eastwood and his Ferraris is not just about a man and his machines. It's a narrative of art, be it cinema or car design, of passions that drive us, and of the beautiful symphony that life composes when dreams, dedication, and a dash of Italian flair come together. Modern choices for an egoless icon. Clint Eastwood, a name that evokes memories of gritty Western landscapes and timeless film classics, has always been an icon in more ways than one. His choice in cars, for instance, mirrors his dynamic career trajectory, classic yet ever-evolving. And while his heart might have danced to the tunes of vintage beauties from the past, his modern choices in automobiles highlight his adaptability and embrace of the contemporary. Enter the 1990s, an era of technological advancements and changing automotive landscapes. Amidst the wave of innovation, Clint's attention was captivated by a beast that was quite different from the elegant Italian Ferraris and vintage masterpieces in his collection. It was the GMC Typhoon, an SUV, that dared to defy norms. On the surface, the Typhoon was like any other SUV of its time, but underneath the hood it harbored the heart of a sports car. With a robust V6 engine that could thrust the vehicle from 0 to 60 in a mere 5.3 seconds, the Typhoon wasn't just about utility, it was about unmatched performance. Now one might wonder what drew a seasoned actor like Clint, known for his refined tastes, towards a high-performance SUV. The answer lies in the result of the Typhoon. Much like Eastwood, it was an embodiment of versatility. An SUV that performed like a sports car, the Typhoon was both rugged and swift, echoing Clint's on-screen persona. Strong, reliable, yet always with an element of surprise. It was a limited edition, with only about 4,700 ever produced, making it not just a car, but a collector's dream. And as Clint glided through the streets in this powerhouse, it became evident that his love for cars wasn't confined to classics. It was about the story, the uniqueness, and the thrill of the drive. Yet, just when one thought they had figured out Clint's automotive tastes, he threw another curveball. From the roaring might of the Typhoon, he transitioned to the silent, eco-friendly charm of the Fiat 500e. An all-electric car, the Fiat 500e, was a far cry from the vehicles Clint was usually associated with. Compact, efficient, and environmentally friendly, the Fiat 500e was Clint's nod to the changing times and the world's growing consciousness toward sustainability. Driving around Los Angeles in the Fiat, Clint shattered stereotypes. Here was Dirty Harry, the embodiment of old-school Hollywood ruggedness, choosing to drive a compact electric car. It wasn't about the size or the power. It was a statement that emphasized adaptability, responsibility, and the need to evolve with the times. The Fiat 500e, with its minimalistic design and green technology, was more than just a car. It was a philosophy on wheels. One might ask, what connects a high-performance SUV and an electric compact car in Clint's vast and varied garage? It's the spirit of evolution, just as his roles over the years showcased a myriad of characters. From cowboys to detectives to directors, his car choices reflected a spectrum of desires and sensibilities. The GMC Typhoon and the Fiat 500e, although worlds apart in design and purpose, were both ahead of their times, much like Eastwood himself. In the grand tapestry of Clint Eastwood's life, where every thread tells a story of choices, passions, and legacies, his modern car picks stand out as vibrant patterns. They remind us that while the allure of the past is intoxicating, there's an undeniable charm in embracing the present, in understanding the zeitgeist, and in driving forward, quite literally, with an eye on the future. As the sunset casts a golden hue on the horizon, one can imagine Clint, the ageless icon, making a choice. Perhaps the roar of the Typhoon for a drive down memory lane, or the silent hum of the Fiat for a contemplative evening drive. Whichever he chooses, one thing remains certain. Clint Eastwood, with his timeless charisma and ever-evolving tastes, continues to surprise, inspire, and drive into our hearts one car at a time. Direct address. Which of these beauties have you seen? Ah, the love of cars, a universal passion that transcends borders, generations, and time. Much like our dear Clint Eastwood's cinematic tales, cars too have their narratives, woven intricately with chrome and leather, horsepower and history. As we've journeyed through the chapters of Clint's automotive love story, a question lingers in the air waiting to be asked. Dear viewer, which of these mechanical marvels have you had the privilege to encounter? Now let's not be modest. Whether it was a fleeting glance as one of these classics roared past you on a sunny boulevard, or a more intimate encounter at a vintage car show, Each experience is special. The world of classic cars, after all, is not just about engines and chassis. It's about nostalgia, craftsmanship, and tales that echo with every rev. Have you perhaps seen the charm of the 1932 Ford Roadster firsthand? With its streamlined elegance and undeniable allure, it's a car that doesn't just drive, it glides, leaving a trail of envious glances and whispered admirations. Or maybe, during one of your outings, you've stumbled upon the grandeur of the 1937 Lincoln Model K convertible, its majestic presence reminiscent of a bygone era, transporting you to times when cars were not just modes of transportation, but art on wheels. The rarity of these machines makes every encounter unique. Imagine, out of the thousands of cars produced every year, only a handful achieve the status of classic. They're not mere vehicles, they're legacies, holding within their metal frames stories of eras gone by, innovations, and human aspirations. Clint's Ferrari 275 GTB, for instance, isn't just an Italian luxury sports car. It's a symbol of cinematic success, a testament to an actor's journey and the rewards that come with it. Given its value today, skyrocketing to over $1 million, have you had the rare chance to witness this Italian masterpiece up close? Speaking of rarities, remember the 1966 Morris Mini Countryman Cooper S? With whispers suggesting that only 6 were ever crafted, spotting one is akin to finding a needle in a haystack. And if you have indeed seen this rarity, consider yourself among the chosen few, for such experiences are as rare as the car itself. But enough about the past. Let's shift gears to the present. The GMC Typhoon, a modern beast with the heart of a classic, or the Fiat 500e, Clint's nod to sustainability. Have these contemporary wonders ever graced your path? In the grand mosaic of automotive artistry, these modern pieces fit right in, blending innovation with timeless appeal. Have you felt the thrill of seeing the Typhoon's robust design or the quiet elegance of the Fiat 500s on your city streets? As we delve deeper into these questions, it's not just about the cars. It's about shared passions, collective memories, and the universal love for automotive wonders. It's about understanding that cars, much like cinema, are not just about the destination. They're about the journey, the experiences, and the stories that shape our lives. So, dear viewer, as we steer towards the end of this narrative, let's pause and reflect. Think about those moments, those chance encounters with automotive beauties, whether from Clint's collection or your personal experiences. And as you reminisce, remember that in the world of cars, every encounter is a story waiting to be told, a memory waiting to be cherished. Whether you're a seasoned car enthusiast with countless tales under your belt, or someone who simply appreciates the artistry of these machines, your experiences add to the rich tapestry of the automotive world. As the engines quieten down and our journey reaches its pit stop, we leave you with a thought. In the grand race of life, it's not just about the cars we drive, but the memories we create along the way. Which of these automotive tales have you been a part of?